This is Rating Descending.
Where we watch IMDb's worst 250 movies so you don't have to.
I'm Michelle St. Clair.
I'm Abigail Ward, I guess.
This week, I guess we watched Jeepers Creepers 3.
Oof.
Sheriff Dan Testego and a team of creeper hunters enlist the help of Officer Davis Tubbs to help stop the monster's eating spree. Let's watch. Sorry, I'm just crickety cracking over here.
Crickety cracking.
Crickety cracking, just never stop sacking. That's where you hit someone in the sack.
Oof.
You ever do that in high school? I don't think
No.
yeah. I didn't do it. I received it.
Sacking.
It's not pleasant. There's nothing that homophobic straight boys love more than touching people's genitals.
So I love strange verbs to describe a pastime like sacking. Like I'm sacking. I'm just out sacking. Because I was looking up what herping is. Have you heard of what herping is?
No.
It's the practice of like catching snakes.
Like
finding snakes.
herpetology.
Herping.
Not like herpes.
And apparently, if you're a herper in the herper world, they call it. A large part of it is flipping rocks over. So they say, "I'm just going out flipping for the day," or "I'm rock flipping."
So they have a verb, and then they use a different verb to describe it.
Yeah. Well, the art form, the craft is herping. But the actual practice of it is flipping.
So no, but I think it's like jargon. It's like an in thing. Like if someone was out herping, they're probably new.
Yeah.
But a real herper would say, "I'm out flipping."
Yes, exactly. I'm out flipping rocks every damn day, and it's not a euphemism.
I guess in the same way that I could be like, "Yeah, I'm editing," but usually I'm like, "Oh, I'm cutting this."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not cutting anything.
Exactly.
I'm just flipping.
Yeah.
Flipping for herps, babe.
Flipping for herps.
Babe, I go out every day for you. Flipping for herps.
Should we become herpers? A herper, sherpa, and larper all walk into a bar.
Uh-huh.
And the bartender says, "Why the long face?"
And?
Oh, that's the punchline.
Why is it a punchline?
Oh, because the three of them are also horses at the same time. That's the punchline. Guess you wouldn't get it.
No, I got it. I laughed. I thought it was pretty funny, to be honest.
Yeah.
So this snake was a horse? No, sorry. Someone who catches snake was a horse.
Yeah.
Someone who... I don't know the name of the people, Himalayans, I guess, who
or
guide
Nepalese.
people. The Nepalese. But I didn't know if they consider themselves Nepalese or just from the Himalayas specifically. The Nepalese guides up the Himalayas, and someone who is engaged in live action roleplay. They're all horses.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And they kiss.
Oh, all three at once?
At the same time.
All three
They're
horses?
Yeah. They're poly, yeah. It's what the Rolling Stones song Wild Horses was written after.
Man, you're on fucking fire.
No, this isn't good. What are you talking about?
Oh, come on. I'm enjoying it. Maybe it's just late enough.
Yeah. You're a disturbed individual.
Let me introduce one then. Okay. Hang on. I got well, I was modifying Crusader Kings the other day. This isn't good. I really wanted
Take your time.
I really like playing the game Crusader Kings 3. And I get really like finicky about things about the map. So I learnt how to mod the game. And first I was just changing the game's files, but then it can get like overwritten in updates and stuff. So then I learned how to package it as a mod specifically so that I could just just be really pedantic about some of the specific things and like add a few little extra like bonus features and decisions and stuff. Because that's who I am as a person, Was that just as good? Okay. Okay. A witch, right? Oh, right? She is engaged in foreplay with a herper.
Uh-huh.
So Homer the herper comes over to the witch and he's like, "Hello, I catch snakes. Do you have any snakes that need catching?" And she was like, "Well, that's great because I need a snake for my potion." And he's like, "Oh, what kind of potion?" And she's like, "I love potion." as she's like miming stroking a snake. But from the belly, from underneath, she's stroking this, I guess as if the snake was just laid out, but in the air, I guess kind of like a sword almost.
She like
she's
do you
just
want me to give
stroking.
you a solid point to edit back into? Bleep. There you go.
Wow, that's a really interesting joke you said about the horses. Yeah. But you know, speaking of things,
Oh, it's going to be a very short opening considering how much you've had to cut out. But go for it, Michelle.
Okay. Maybe should I give it one more go? One
I
more
wouldn't say that.
little
I wouldn't
college
go
try.
that far. Who needs to?
All right, I'm stretching, just stretching.
Limber
All right,
those
stretching.
muscles.
Ooh, put my arms up. Put my arms up. Put my arms out to the side.
And put them up again.
Put them up again.
All right, now put them down.
Okay, I can
All right,
do that.
Now touch your boobies.
Yeah, this is really good radio
Now stick
content.
a finger up your
touch my
nose.
boobies.
All right.
Put a
Now
finger up my
fondle
nose.
your ear.
Okay. Well,
All right,
they're
now
underneath
jab
the
yourself in the
headphones.
side.
Ow!
All right, now take that gun.
Yeah.
Go to the bank over the road.
Okay.
Tell them you want $200,000 in unmarked bills.
Hey, give me
a duffel.
$200,000 in unmarked
But say it in a
bills.
nice, sweet voice.
Hey, give me $200,000 in unmarked bills.
And then do a little dance.
Hello,
great
my
for
honey.
podcasts.
Hello, my baby. Yeah, no one can see any of these things. You fucking idiot. You know, speaking of fucking idiots, this week we watched Jeepers Creepers 3.
Cheers to that opening.
We did it.
Yeah.
Maybe our best opening yet.
Woo! Who gives a fuck about how we're going? You just got nonsense.
You know, we've had some pretty good openings that revolve around nothing but us doing a silly bit. That wasn't one of them.
Dude, I started seeing a new therapist, but I'm not going to tell you shit about that because instead I said a herper, larper, and sherpa all walked into a bar.
You motherfuckers are going to wait till next week.
If that, maybe I won't talk about it at all.
Yeah.
It's a secret.
The secret. This week we watched Jeepers Creepers 3.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say?
I mean, as I mentioned last week, I watched this film as a kid a lot. Not this one, sorry. The first one. Jeepers Creepers 1. And that film has Justin Long in it.
Yes.
And
This one doesn't. So he's not regaining the lead as most recurring actor.
This film, as did 11-11-11, this film had like no recurring actors. Everyone was strange.
Actually, it has one.
Who?
I'll get to it when we get into the key details.
Okay. Well, Justin Long was in the first Jeepers Creepers. And let me tell you, I found that film really scary as a child.
Sure.
Especially because there's this scene where Justin Long is driving, I think, with either the girl he's dating or the girl he's interested in. It's always one or the other. They can never just be friends.
The main girl he's with is his sister in the movie.
Girl he's interested in.
Sure, yeah.
Please don't,
Sorry.
don't taboo shame.
No,
okay?
no, yeah, it's my bad. Sorry.
They're in the Deep South.
I don't think they. Yeah,
Say no
sure.
more.
Sorry.
But they're driving and they go past this house, this farmstead, and they see this guy in black basically dragging a body into like graves or into the back of his car.
His van, his like murder van.
Maybe into the back of his truck. I can't remember exactly. But it's this really scary bit where it's just this glimpse of this guy in all black disposing of a body as they drive. And that scene was really disturbing as a kid. That was probably the scariest bit of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Was just the glimpse of him like discarding their bodies.
A lot of the reviews of the first one do say the first half they really liked, and then once they showed the creeper,
Yes.
they're like, "Who gives a fuck it
is
now?"
lame. You know what's scarier than like monstrous men? Just normal men.
Yeah, that's the thing. Apparently, the director of this, when making the first movie, was like, "I really wanted the reveal that that he's supernatural to be like the main like twist in the movie, and that's why he withholds the creeper a lot."
Yeah.
So you could almost say the best part of any of these three Jeepers Creepers movies is the bit he did thinking that a different thing would be better.
Yes.
And actually that was the worst part.
Yeah. And I have to say, for Jeepers Creepers 1, maybe you'll know, I can't remember. Did he have wings in Jeepers Creepers 1? Because I don't remember there being wings.
I couldn't see anything specifically referencing whether or not he had bat wings in the first two Jeepers Creepers.
He must have drunk a Red Bull.
He listened to a lot of Meatloaf in between the one day setting between Jeepers Creepers 1 and 3.
Yeah, he actually listened to a lot of Paul McCartney.
Oh.
Wings.
Oh my God.
Thank you, everyone. I'll be here all week.
All right. That's been Abigail Wood.
Thank you so much.
Everybody,
LA, I'll be here Thursday,
round of
Friday.
applause. All right. I will also say before I get into the key details, because I want to say it up front at a specific time that I can also add a content warning at the front if I so deem. But to get it out of the way, because it's important to address, the director of this movie, Victor Salva, is a convicted pedophile.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So this is if I did put a content warning, this is the point where it begins, and I'll put a thing at the end.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's a convicted pedophile.
Victor Salva?
Victor Salva. He sexually assaulted a 14-year-old who worked on one of his movies back in 1988. And also had a shit ton of child pornography in his home. He went to jail. It was meant to be for 3 years, but he was out in 5 months.
Fucking hell.
And then he made like fucking 10 movies after that.
So, oh my God. I'm sorry, but when people go on about cancel culture and how people are just out for blood, cancel culture doesn't even work because people get convicted as pedophiles and then they just get to go back to their lives and careers.
Yeah.
Like if Harvey Weinstein wasn't so old that he will die in prison, he would probably just get released and continue to make movies because no one gives a shit, apparently.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
It is fucked up. I just wanted to address that because I'm like, I can't talk about this movie without at one point addressing a thing that was important at the time of release as well, because this was when people were starting to talk about it more.
Yeah.
That he's a convicted pedophile and he sucks.
So he was convicted. He went to jail for 5 whole months, got out, got to keep making movies, and this was one of those films.
Yes.
How would you want to work for someone where you knew that they had downloaded and consumed child pornography?
From what I understand, and I'll get into it a little more maybe when the key details. From what I understand, they didn't know.
How
It seems like he hid it, as far as I can tell, because there was a whole thing in part of the casting, like part of the reason that this came out in 2017 instead of like 2006.
Okay.
Is agencies and stuff started to find out and making it really hard for him. Good. Yeah.
Why did he continue to get the film? Like, why did someone just say,
I mean,
you know
Bryan
what?
Singer still makes movies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what fantastic films they are.
Yeah. If I did put a content warning, this will be where I put the end of it. Other than that, do you want to hear the key details?
Yeah, I do.
Rad. All right, key details. This movie came out in 2017. For context, Jeepers Creepers 1 came out in 2001 and Jeepers Creepers 2 came out in 2003.
Okay. And then this came out in 2017.
2017. It's an interquel, or to borrow a phrase from the Borderlands video game franchise, a pre-sequel. It's set in between Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
The first one is set in 2001, and then the second one is set 3 days later, and it's still part of the Monsters same
I have a feeling
spree.
I saw Jeepers Creepers 2 at some point, and that like I may be messing some taking some memories that I think of Jeepers Creepers 1, it could be 2, but I did watch both of them.
Yeah.
At a certain point in time.
This is set like in the 2 days in between.
Okay.
It's a weird choice.
Super weird choice.
Yeah.
Also, I think what I liked about it when I was a kid was like how rural it was, the truck, and the use of the song as well. Like, I thought the song was so eerie and spooky. Like, did you ever listen to that song when you were like a kid?
Yeah. Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? And that's it. No. That's how much copyright we can do. No. Parody, fair use.
It's a spooky, ooky song.
Yeah, it's a little spooky. It was originally
super spooky.
It was written in like 1939 or 1938 for the movie Going Places, about a racehorse.
Oh,
yeah.
Was
the racehorse
Jeepers is like, is Jeeper the horse and he had peepers on?
Well, he's Jeepers Creepers, and then he's got the peepers.
Right. Okay.
And he's just like a pretty racehorse.
Okay.
Yeah, but in the context of someone who like eats people and is stealing their eyes and stuff, like that's pretty creepy. You know,
spooky ooky.
Where'd you get those peepees? And then it's like from someone else. That's spooky. Anyway, this was directed by Victor Salva, starring Stan Shaw, Meg Foster, and Gabriel Hugh. Budget was $6.2 million, and the box office was 3.6. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
That's karma, baby.
Hey, and there is one returning actor, And I only know about it because of regular contributor to the Rating Descending email inbox, MR, and their spectacular website, engineer-of-souls.github.io.
Has a real ring to it.
Yeah, it's catchy. Or that I also put on our Twitter account and stuff that has all of our fucking like All Stars database and all of that. Michael Papajohn.
Who's Michael Papajohn?
He was in Devil's Due as Officer Miska, superhero movie he's just credited as Gimme Your Wallet, and Jonah Hex as one of the Saber Guards. In this, he played Frank. You know, at the beginning when they're like towing the van, and then there's the officer, and then there's the guy. That guy is Frank. That Frank is Michael Papajohn.
Have we talked about Michael Papajohn before?
We have.
We must have taken notice because of the name.
Yeah,
surely.
and because it's not Papa John, it's one word.
Papajohn.
Papajohn.
That's
Papajohn.
fucking fantastic.
Yeah. So now you're going up in the world, Michael Papajohn.
He's up there with like Sylvester Stallone in the Rating Descending world.
Hey, Michael Papajohn, if you ever get wind of this, you're in the same list, same tier.
The beauty about our podcast and this very niche like cavern that we tend to reside in is that really like Z-list actors really get their moment in the sun when they appear in like 5+ movies on this list. This extra, he's back.
Michael Papajohn?
Michael Papajohn. We should have an interview with Michael Papajohn.
I'm here for the Papajohnaissance.
Yes, we're entering our Papajohn era. Let's get him on the phone.
You've heard of, like calling people like mother or daddy. I want to call them Papa John.
Papa John.
Oh
we'll have a segment called, calling Papa John, where we're just chatting to Mike.
Hey, yeah. He doesn't sound anything like this. Hey, yeah, I love the movie, It's pretty good. Let me just do the overview, all right? I'm not firing on all cylinders tonight.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, yeah. I also noted while writing this that I am increasingly finding it hard to keep my contempt for the movies we're watching out of my descriptions of it. A day after the events of the first film, in which the demonic being known as the Creeper terrorizes and kills a group of teens, the police discover the Creeper's deadly and booby-trapped truck. By the way, it's a van that they just keep calling a truck through the entire movie, but in your minds, audience, picture a van.
The back of it, it's not slim enough to be a van.
But it's it's not like a truck. You have the front bit, and then it's like a separate cabin or like a box even,
It feels like the look of it looks like a small truck.
But it looks like a big van because it's a seamless entryway from the big open space.
We don't want to find ourselves in the big
truck
van, small truck area again. We've been down this path too many times. Again.
This is listeners. This is a long running.
Yeah. It's too delicate at this point. It's just something we agree to disagree on.
It's the Montagues and the Capulets. The big van, small truck. The Creeper recovers the truck, and Sheriff Dan Tashtego swears to kill it. Kill the Creeper. The next day, Galen, a mother of one of the Creeper's victims, is warned by his spirit that the Creeper will come for what he buried on their farm. He meaning the victim, Kenny. Buried on their...
Warned by her son's spirit.
Warned by her son's spirit. That the Creeper will come for what Kenny buried on their farm and kill her and her niece Addison.
Kenny is the son.
Kenny is the son. Yes. Yeah, okay. As the Creeper... just let me get through this. Okay. As the Creeper passes time...
The Creeper is the villain.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, the demonic being... It's the Creeper. As the Creeper...
And Galen was Kenny's mom.
Yeah, Galen, yeah. She also has this farm.
Yeah.
As the Creeper
And Kenny died from the Creeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was present in the 23 years earlier. Oh, starring Jim Carrey.
Angelic number. Well, no.
It's not.
It's not.
It isn't.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Oh, he was present in the 23 years earlier, and then I guess he lived because that's how he buried the thing.
This is Kenny we're talking about.
And then I think he gets killed in the first movie.
Also Kenny.
Yeah, this is just like with Kenny.
This is Kenny.
As the Creeper passes time.
Kenny was Galen's
You
son.
have to let me finish.
I will.
You have to be more helpful on
I'm
this podcast.
sorry. I think it's funny to be incredible, just to be the bane of your existence.
You know what I think is funny? A really good podcast.
We're two really collaborative people.
That's what I think is really funny.
Hope you find that one day. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate your good luck and wishes. If only you had agency in this situation.
Oh, the power of the edit keeps me under wraps.
As the creeper passes time killing some local teens interested in his truck, Galen sends Addison into town where she joins her friend Buddy in delivering some hay. However, the creeper is there and abducts Addison. Meanwhile, Tashtego and his gang arrive at Galen's where she has dug up what was buried, a severed hand of the creeper,
Yes.
and learn that touching it will teach them about the creeper, which Tashtego does. By the way, what he learns is that the creeper is very old. He doesn't really share anything else. They chase down the creeper, but the gang is all killed by the van's bullet-reflecting armor, and Tashtego himself is killed after his plan to shoot at it a lot fails to have any impact. Addison wakes up and manages to evade the creeper and flees home, where the creeper finds a sign that says, "We know what you are," whereupon he gets really angry and gives up. And that's kind of the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
Oh, and then Buddy gets on a bus that is the same bus that gets attacked in Jeepers Creepers 2. So he dies anyway.
What? Whoa.
He's not in Jeepers Creepers 2, though.
Yeah, but because, I mean, a lot of time had passed as well.
No?
No, I mean, between the filming.
Between the filming.
yeah,
Sure. But what I'm saying is, like, it's not like a little clever, like, cameo. No, he's not.
No.
Yeah. That's
it.
That's what happens. He
well,
just
what are we
sorta
watching next week,
gives up.
Michelle?
You know what I enjoyed about this?
Tell me.
This movie is really invested in telling us that the creeper is like an ancient demonic being, but he has a truck. So I like the idea that once...
It's actually a big van. Sorry, just...
Fucking... Consider my petard fully hoisted. Yeah, you're right. It's a big van. He has a big van, and I love that. Like once Ford came in, this ancient demonic being was like, "It is faster to get around this way." Fundamentally, that seems pretty cool.
They also mentioned that at the front of the actually, it's a small truck. At the front of it, there's like this grill. There's a certain term for it.
Cow catcher.
The cow catcher, but it had a name that I can't remember that they reference.
Cow catcher.
And then he describes it's a cow catcher.
He says it's a cow catcher after he goes, what's that thing?
No, he says it starts with an M, and then he says it's a cow catcher.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see that.
Someone was paying attention.
I didn't see that in the trivia.
No one took the time to note down that pivotal scene.
But it's it's like a train.
That indicates that it's a small truck / big van that likely existed post-industrial revolution, probably 1950s. I feel like there's a very like 1940s Oregon farm vibe with this film.
I don't think they make vans with cow catchers. I think he took a cow catcher from a train and put it on a truck.
Oh, I thought that people put it on the front of vehicles on farms.
They put it on the front of trains.
But don't they also put it on the front of vehicles precisely for the same reason?
No.
On a farm?
Because on a regular car, you can drive around a cow.
Okay, maybe in a regular car,
on a
but
train,
not in a small truck. And not in a big van.
Fucking Christ. Yeah, but
either way.
With a train...
Train indicates...
A train can't drive around.
Michelle, please. You're being too reasonable. There's certain things that the creeper owns.
Yeah.
That makes me think that he is placed in like the 1930s or 40s.
Well, what I like about it as well is that because he comes every 23 years, every 23 springs, I think, for 23 days.
Like voluntarily. Like he doesn't.
That's the only times that he is available.
He abstains.
His schedule is fully booked. That's his window of holiday where he gets to eat people.
Yeah.
He feasts is what it says. What I like is that I think he took one of those to custom build this van.
Right. He tinkers.
Or small truck, depending on your personal definition.
Yes.
He tinkers. He
was a mechanic in a previous life.
He's a motorhead.
Yeah, real rev head. You find him at the F1.
He's a real grease monkey, that guy.
NASCAR.
With his fucking like white ponytail. He kind of has the body and hairstyle of like an aged hippie.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, the close-ups of his face were too supernatural to be scary. Like, if anything, I felt like I was looking at an Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings or something.
Yeah.
You know? It was too fantastical to really be scary.
Big orc vibes.
Big orc vibes.
Also a little chunky.
Yeah.
He kind of has
boy.
the build not of like an agile, muscly creature or like a spindly thing, but kind of just like a 60-year-old man who's just like at an okay level of health, like just a little chunky and flabby.
Yeah,
and then
for someone that could,
he's very jowly.
Kind of looks a bit out of shape. He's very strong.
Very strong. Oh yeah, jowly. He's got the like spike things that later become like frill neck lizards. At one point.
Yeah,
that would have been spooky to see before he just sort of cries in the rain when he cries so hard that all the birds die.
When his tears disappear. No, they fade like tears in the...
Rutger Hauer?
I don't care anymore.
Blade Runner?
It's done.
Yeah, well, that's a good movie. That doesn't belong here.
Yeah, it doesn't.
That's not what we do anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I did have a day off yesterday, and I watched 3 movies.
Whoa.
Because I got to have time to myself.
And they were good movies?
They were. There was Little Miss Sunshine, Galaxy Quest, and 7 Psychopaths.
Oh, classics.
Yeah.
Rewatching the faves.
Yeah.
Because of the tism.
Yeah. And Little Miss Sunshine, let me tell you, especially the opening 10 of Little Miss Sunshine, watching, like, I was like, the way that she watches the screen and then is mimicking it feels very resonant with my childhood.
Look, I know you know this, but the listeners don't know this.
Sure.
So here's a little anecdote about me, considering I forgot to tell you guys a secret about myself at the end of last week's episode.
Yeah.
Here's a little, less of a secret, more of a fun note. In 2009, I had an urge to rewatch Little Miss Sunshine. I saw it when it came out in cinemas when I was like 10. I saw it with my mom. Thought it was amazing. But when I was like 14, I was like, I'm going to rent out Little Miss Sunshine. Back in those days, you'd rent like 11 films for a certain amount of money, like $7, and you'd get it for 7 days. I watched Little Miss Sunshine. I remember counting 29 times in that week. And I watched it so much that I knew the script off like by heart. I remember my mum came in, she saw me watching it again, and she was like, I need to take this film back to back to Blockbuster. It just makes you sad, because it did. It made me like angsty and melancholy. I knew it so well that I could type out. I'd just gotten my first like proper smartphone, and it was barely a smartphone. It was basically like a BlackBerry, but a bit different. And I typed out the entire Little Miss Sunshine script because I could just remember all of it, every single line.
Wow.
So maybe I've got a touch for the tis.
Yeah, I was like, how are you saying this about me?
I remember I told a friend of mine, and I just met her, and I told her that fact, and she went, that's very strange. And I said, yeah. And she went, no, it's really unusual. And it is. So yeah, the first 10.
Wow.
Amazing.
And like I said, very resonant to my child, like, because that's what I did a lot, you know, watching and then learning how to be a fucking human being through mimicry and stuff.
Yeah.
Made me very emotional rewatching it.
Aww.
I haven't watched it in so many years, and it's one of my favorite movies.
I also wrote Little Miss Sunshine fan fiction about Dwayne.
That is one of the least surprising pieces of information.
I told you that.
Yeah, I know, but I have to react organically for radio.
In the fanfic, a young English girl that's just moved to Albuquerque falls in love with him, and he falls in love with her. But also Uncle Frank ends up with the guy called Kirby that helps like Olive put her music in, because he's clearly gay as well. And I was like, they've got to end up together, him and Kirby. Yeah, look, I put that bad boy on Quizilla, and it was like the top story for 2 months. So kind of peaked in 2010.
I do think more men engaged in modern fandom especially would be so much happier if they just wrote fan fiction.
Oh, yeah.
Half the time on Twitter I see someone talk about Star Wars or Marvel and get cranky about it. I'm like, just write fan fiction.
I actually think
just do it.
More men do write fan fiction than you'd expect. It's just that they don't want to talk about it.
Well, I don't think they write it. I think they tweet about it and they keep it in their head.
Yeah. I've met a couple of dudes that you wouldn't expect have written fan fiction, but as adults, they confess that they do dabble. And it's wholesome.
When I was a kid, I wrote Neopets fan fiction.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I really liked that little game and all those little critters.
That's so sweet. I wrote Ramones fan fiction.
That's cool.
No, it wasn't.
Well, it's cooler than Neopets. What the
Yeah,
come on.
That's true, I guess. Yeah. I think the non-cool bit about it was that it was about Joey Ramone, who basically is like the walking, talking epitome of Marfan syndrome. And yet I was like, so hot.
That's one of the funniest things you've ever fucking said.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm Joey Ramone. Yeah, baby.
It's just perfect timing as a joke. We have to end this discussion.
Okay.
Hey, Jeepers Creepers 3. Yeah, that is one dangerous truck/van.
Let's not get into it again.
Yeah, I mean, it has a spear shoot out of it. It has spikes that come out of
I was
nowhere.
about to say, let's just go to the middle ground and call it a tran, but let's not.
Let's not. Yeah. This as this movie went on, I had more and more weird shit.
Yeah, well, the spikes and spears that come out of it, I found genuinely quite scary. Like the bit where, okay, scary is not the wrong term. I found it gory. Like the bit where the young man that ends up getting killed in the truck with Addie, he gets speared through the leg. And his friends are trying to help him get it out. Remember, it's like through his calf.
Yeah.
And he starts getting pulled back into the van as it starts like getting looped back in.
Instead of trying to like pull against it because they want to get the thing out, they just hobble with it.
Well, the thing is, I feel like if they pulled against it, I guess they wouldn't be able to control the way it came out, so it could do worse, like more harm. But I guess
he fucking died.
Yeah,
so
that's true. I do feel like when I was watching it, I was actually thinking, if I was one of his friends, what would I do? And I probably would have hobbled with it too, because I would be so afraid that I would grab him and it would rip out of him in a far more painful way than if we just did it ourselves. But
I think
people
that
don't make smart decisions on the fly.
The truck they know is associated with the story of the creeper and the supernatural entity. As soon as they find dead bodies inside of the truck and then the truck starts acting of its own accord.
Good point.
Your brain has to go, okay, so it's real and it's going to kill me.
Michelle, we've talked about this in the past. If we were in a horror film, you'd survive. I wouldn't. And this is exactly why.
Thank you. I appreciate
You'd
that.
be thinking long term. I'd be thinking short term. And I would get speared through the back 2 minutes later.
I think I would also survive because I'm a virgin.
You frown upon sex. Not yet. Not till you're married.
Not till I'm married. I think the thing that we haven't addressed yet, though, is that the license plate of the now infamous truck van is "Be Eating You."
Yeah.
Maybe one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's really "Be Eating You."
Be eating you.
Oh my God. Okay. Sorry. I just had to say it. This is... There's also
It could have been like Kramer's fucking number plate in Seinfeld. Ass man. Can you imagine if the creeper's number plate was just inexplicably ass man?
What I like is "Be Eating You" is way too many letters.
Yeah.
So it's
state
not
do they live in?
constrained by the 6-letter thing.
Yeah.
So why not make it more clear? Because it does just look like it's beating you. Which doesn't sound like beating as in punching. It definitely sounds like you're jacking someone off.
What's wrong with that?
It doesn't. There's no space between "be" and "eating." It's
What's
not.
wrong with jacking
I just
someone
don't
off?
think that's what he's doing.
Sounds like you've got an issue with it.
I would prefer it if he was jacking them off.
Would you? I guess so. In the grand scheme of things.
I would prefer that. I mean, only if they're into it.
Yeah. Consensually.
Consensually, yeah. If they're not into it, I don't want to see that.
Then it would be a happy ending in every sense of the word.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would prefer that they get consensually jacked off than get murdered, for sure.
Oh my God, if you're into consensual sex, you're consexual.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've said before, if I've got any fetish, it's consent.
Yeah.
I'll love that shit. When they're like, yes, I'm like, fuck. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna nut.
Yeah. Mine's scat. Shit and piss.
Sorry, there's a technical difficulty there.
Scat.
That's so weird. I can't. I think
People shit.
Abby's mic cut out for just a moment. This is just a small one. The fuck. Okay, so like there's the bit. His nose opens up sideways, and then he abducts Addison, and it's so fucking weird. And then later we see him driving, and he's like changing the radio, or someone's changing the radio. I think it's the sheriff.
Yeah.
And I heard some of the radio samples that are used in that song "DANCE" by Justice.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
you love that
neat.
song.
Still do.
D-A-N-C-S-E.
You know how to spell dance.
But why
know
doesn't it fit into the song as I know it?
do the D-A-N-C. Yeah.
You sure it's not D-A-N-C-S-E? Dancese.
You know what? I haven't gone back to check the lyrics. I'm not 100% sure. It could be D-A-T-A-N-S-E.
Could be.
Or was it D-A-N-C-S-C-E?
Dancesque.
Dancesque. What we really got to talk about before we inevitably pivot out way too soon because this movie sucks is so once the sheriff and the gang are each like barreling towards them. And there's also the hand thing. You know, we see the grandma grab the hand.
Yeah. So like the hand, her son Kenny, because he's her son Kenny. By the way,
her son Kenny. Yeah.
Fuck, I'm burping so much.
Yeah.
Like more than usual.
You're a burping machine.
Kenny is her son. Is Galen's son. And in 23 years ago, the night that he died, he found it was the night he died, right?
I don't know. I don't think it was.
Wait, yeah, what happened to his son in the end?
I thought he was killed in the first movie, which would mean like 2 days ago.
Wait, how is her son killed? What the fuck?
I'm pretty sure he's killed. Wait.
He finds the hand.
He was killed by the creeper.
And he shoots it.
Specific.
And then he buries it.
Kenny?
I don't remember how he actually died and why she grieves him.
Or maybe he was killed after he buries the hand in the 23 years ago.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't watch the first one, so I can't.
Yeah. Okay. But either way, he buries the hand and at some point he dies. And she digs the hand up and when she touches it, it basically grabs her hand and forces her up into the air and she sees a bunch of shit.
By the way, if you've ever wanted to see peak comedy, it's an old woman wrestling a hand. For sure.
Because of that scene, it cuts away and then the next time we see her, she's fine.
She is totally fine.
And so I thought she'd been possessed by him. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I expected her to fully turn on them.
Nope.
And when Danny, the cop, what's his surname again?
Tashtego.
When he touches the hand and he starts seeing visions, I thought that was her betraying him, being like, now you're also possessed. I thought that would be the reveal. But no, it's just bad filmmaking.
Yeah, no, it just sucks.
Shocker.
It's just she just learnt what the creeper is, which she doesn't share with anyone.
And it's not very interesting anyway.
Yeah.
That he's old.
He's old. Is what it is.
Super scary.
He's super scary. And they learn that he's old, and that means probably supernatural, and so then their plan is still to shoot at it.
Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I should look this up, but my memory of Jeepers Creepers 1 is that he has a shed on his property in this like rural area.
Sure.
And I feel like there were people that were strung up in that shed and some people that were even flayed. And that was really, like, I feel like there was a lot of human skin.
Oh, wait, no, I read in the first one, that's like the thing they find in the beginning is
human skin.
Well, it's like tons of bodies. He finds a dying man and hundreds of bodies sewn to the basement's walls.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I
don't want to talk about this.
Oh, spooky as. That's genuinely disturbing. This film was just going on a rampage.
What this movie had instead was the guy with the beard going with like a fucking army level machine gun mounted to the back of a truck.
That bit was so fucking dumb, but I loved it.
At the truck, and then it just kills him and the driver.
The problem with busting out a machine gun on top of a truck or a big van in the middle of a film is that it really doesn't feel as much like a horror film and it feels a bit more like an action film.
In broad daylight too.
In broad daylight.
90% of this movie is set in.
This is for my dad.
He also fully would be able to see from that distance that there's no one driving it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Mr. Creeper, maybe he was in it, but the vans, it reflects bullets, which I guess Tashtego knew because he's like, no, it's reflective, but he's in a different vehicle.
Yeah.
But he just didn't share, even though he knew his friends were going to go off and try and shoot it.
Yeah.
And then they just fully die from that, which is really, really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. No reason.
And then Mr. Creeper gets out of the van and he throws his bone shuriken at the police captain.
Yeah.
Which makes it like Looney Tunes style, like split open, like Elmer Fudd, a carrot's been put in the end of it. And then he flies through the air to get fucking Tashtego.
I feel like I had a bit of a sensory overload in the final bits of this film because there were so many loud noises and different kinds of screaming that at one point I just had to stop for a bit and give myself a break.
I get it.
I think I paused it mid someone going, ah! It's too much.
Yeah. My darling girlfriend Brooke has been very sick from just a regular cold. and was sitting like near me, it would like huddled up, and was so bummed out that she had to spend her sick day with me watching this movie, and was just like, "What is going on?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry," I just turned it down.
I try and do Claude a favor where I usually watch these films on my laptop with my AirPods in because I don't want to subject him to this bullshit.
I try and watch it when she's not home, to be honest.
Literally, this is such a miserable exercise. We save our partners from it.
Yeah.
Like, we have to keep it to ourselves. Like, you know, people that are like paramedics and firefighters have something that they call vicarious trauma, where they keep the incidents that they witness on the job from their partners. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Claude's like, how was the podcast? I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't think you should know. I think you'll be happier if we don't have this conversation.
But I think, I mean, the podcast is hopefully proof that these movies are much more entertaining when described than when watched.
Oh, yeah, 100%. The joke is less the movie and more us having to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say in that last scene as well, the two other things that stand out to me, one is that like before the cop and Tashtego like get out of the car, they get out of the car because the truck keeps dropping like mines that are also like homing mines that seem to like roll in a ball and try and get them and stuff, you know, and they explode. You know, he like shoots one with his shotgun, and with it we see the worst CG I've ever seen. And then one, blows up near the van. So then there's like this close-up thing going, as the car is flipping with, again, the worst CG I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On the one stretch of road, I feel like they had like 1 kilometer, like 500 meters of road they could use, and they used it for every second scene is set on the same fucking stretch of road.
Yeah. That's just America's Midwest for you. I don't know where this is shot in America. I thought deep south. Or just middling south.
Florida.
So south. Deep south.
Deep. Can't get any deeper than Florida.
Well. Looky what we got here.
Can't get any deeper than Florida. Yeah, deep.
So note how we have barely spoken. Like, this film had a leading lady, like a heroine, and we have not spoken about her because she was so middling.
She would have to be written into the movie's plot for that.
Yeah, she would have to have some kind of character as well.
This movie doesn't want to make up its mind on whether it's Addison or Tashtego, and so it just gives Tashtego all the things to do.
Yeah, I feel like Addie was meant to be the heroine.
Yeah.
She just doesn't do anything.
The only time she does anything is when the creeper himself maneuvers himself into the path of where I'm sure he must know his truck is rigged for a spike to come out and stab him in the head. And it does.
Yeah.
And that's why he can't see very good, is because his eye explodes. And then when he tries to throw a spear at Addison, he misses.
Yeah.
But she didn't do anything.
No.
He did that. It was self-inflicted.
Yes. Her motivations in the film were she wants hay for her horse.
Yeah.
That's all I knew.
And she's a little concerned about her grandma.
She's a little concerned about her grandma, and there's this great performance from this actress where she's telling the guy that's completely obsessed with her and ends up basically protecting her the whole film, because that's what a man's got to do. Where he knows that she was sent to live with her crazy grandma because her mum's her mother got a new boyfriend and they kicked her out because she didn't get along with the new boyfriend. And she says to him, like, we had a cat. I really liked the cat, but Mom's boyfriend didn't like the cat. And he says, so they got rid of the cat. And she's like, yeah. And then he tries to kiss her. It's just a little insight into this film for you guys.
That guy's got game.
Guy's got fucking steez.
Ooh.
He was pulling moves left, right, and center.
Swimming in Riz.
Yeah.
Swimming in Riz.
The Riz man.
Yeah, he was Buddy Rizman.
A Jewish socialite.
Hey, I'm Buddy Rizman.
Hey, Buddy Rizman.
Hey, I'm Buddy Rizman. I'm from Florida. Do you want to hear some trivia?
Yeah. Get us out.
The trivia for this was mild and bad. So I have one thing.
Is that like the Nando's spice rating?
Mild and bad?
Yeah, how would you like your chicken basted? We've got mild and bad. Oh, and lemon and herb.
Yeah, that's actually not inaccurate.
Yeah.
So I have one piece of trivia that's more like a correction, and then I have some production history.
Okay.
Several scenes show the truck has a set of deadly gate-like spikes that come from the top and bottom of the rear cargo opening. Yet from the outside of the truck, there is no apparatus for these spikes to exist. Although it's possible, since it is implied that the truck is supernatural in nature, perhaps it can disobey the basic laws of mortal physics. I was tossing and turning about whether to have that as a weirdly written goof or just as trivia, and I was like, you know what? I agree. Because, yeah, the spikes do come out of fully nowhere.
Yeah.
Spikes need to be somewhere.
They do.
You can put a spike in a wall, because where does the wall go?
Somewhere.
In a truck, you can see the outside of the truck. There's no spikes.
True.
You can't store a spike in a vacuum.
What if it's a spike that is collapsible inside of the wall of the truck and then is sprung open?
Then it will have very little tensile strength, which is the problem with all of the magicians' staves that get sold as self-defense weapons.
Yeah.
The ones that you take out the slidey thing and then it pops out in your hand, and it's like it's a cool thing, but then they get sold to women as like, this is for self-defense. It's like, that will in the air while you're swinging it completely crumple.
Yeah.
And it might cut you because it's made of metal.
You knew a lot more about this than I thought you would.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have that effect on people. Unexpected trivia. I think
Is that a new segment for us? You got trivia, then we followed up with unexpected trivia.
I think that just happens every episode. Yeah. Here was some production history that I'm going to use to sort of buff out the trivia section.
Okay.
The third film was in development before Jeepers Creepers 2 was released in 2003.
Holy shit.
In 2006, the film was officially announced and was tentatively titled Jeepers Creepers 3, The Creeper Walks Among Us. Which he doesn't, actually. So I don't... Anyway, MGM had originally planned to release the movie direct to DVD, but was unable to find proper financing. The movie's script was written by Salva with a new title, Jeepers Creepers 3, Cathedral. And Phillips set to return as Trish from the first film. Gina Phillips plays Trish in one of the two main characters in the first movie. For 9 more years, the film faced many false starts and setbacks, with Salva saying, "The film has come close many times to going before the cameras, and I hope someone sees the wisdom in shooting this."
What?
Yeah, I have no idea what that
I hope
means.
people see the wisdom in shooting this film.
On September 11, 2015, Salva's wish came true when the film was officially greenlit to start filming in early 2016 under Myriad Pictures. However, before filming could begin in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canadian talent agencies sent out an alert to warn others about Salva's criminal past. The casting calls were subsequently removed, which halted the production, though producer Stan Spry assured a fan on Twitter that the movie was not cancelled. Before I say the last paragraph, I also want to say this movie, unlike the first two, had protests about like, hey, this movie was made by a convicted pedophile.
Yeah. Maybe
we shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I mean by like, it was starting to become more and more public information. The original Cathedral storyline had the film take place 23 years after the first two films. However, on the special edition Blu-ray release of Jeepers Creepers 2, Salva stated that his new script for Jeepers Creepers 3 is set between the days of Jeepers Creepers and Jeepers Creepers 2 in 2001, where the creeper terrorizes a farming community. Phillips was brought in to reprise her role of Trish in a cameo, which she does in what is a clear setup for Jeepers Creepers 4. Stan Shaw, who plays a sheriff in this film, confirmed to a fan on Twitter that the Cathedral storyline was scrapped as that material was more than 12 years old. Don't know why that means it should be scrapped.
Sure, yeah.
I will also add, I don't have a specific thing written for it, but Jeepers Creepers 4 was originally in production, and then there was more discussion about how he's a convicted pedophile. So instead, they did a reboot without him called Jeepers Creepers Reborn. And it wasn't very good.
I'm sorry, if you're a pedophile, you don't get the luxury to be a filmmaker anymore. You just don't, because that means you get to put, I'm not saying that this is art, but you get to put a form of what could be art out into the world, and you do not deserve to. You don't get a voice or an opinion anymore. You just are a small, kind of like an untoward facet of society that people would like to shun and forget about.
Yeah, and if you're of the opinion of like, oh, it was a long time ago, you know, maybe he's reformed, just know that this movie, it wasn't in the version that we watched because they cut it out after they sent it to critics, had a line defending pedophilia.
Oh, God.
So I don't really think that's the case. I think he's just trying to make pedophilic art.
Oh God! Remember
Yeah.
that like era? I think it was like almost around the time of like Tumblr's complete decline, where pedophiles were trying to claim that they were part of like the queer community, and that
Which is almost always just the far right trying to like create evidence that they then go like, see, they're all pedophiles.
yeah. But then there was a bunch of pedophiles trying to include themselves into a community. They had
Yeah, I just said the far right, the evangelicals,
Yeah.
they're the pedophiles. They're all the same people I'm referring to.
Yeah, maybe. But I feel like, yeah, it was like this really odd moment in Tumblr's history where a bunch of pedophiles were trying to be like, no, it's just a preference.
But that's what I mean. Like we find out more and more through documented evidence that it is just like Nazis pretending that they're different people to go like, see, gay people are letting these people in, and that's not really what's happening. They do that.
That's crazy.
Because they're liars. They suck. Hey, do you want to hear some reviews? Here's some reviews. This movie has 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has 3.9 on IMDb. Adam DeLeo of IGN called it an unremarkable entry in a cult favorite franchise. Jeepers Creepers 3 offers fans too little to get excited about. While the monster still rules its slice of country highway and the skies above it, the rest of the film crashes in the cornfields. Nah,
So
right?
poetic.
I included a whole bunch of reviews because many of the longer ones were trying to very clearly either draw attention to and then brush over or actively defend Victor Salva and his criminal past. I didn't want to include that, and I didn't know how long I would have for trivia because there's technically only one thing written down, but I have a bunch of shorter ones. This one's titled Best Vintage Country Horror Film Available in Hollywood by N-Series-Surid. Now, those people who are complaining about the CGI, none of you have real taste in horror films. Jeepers Creepers storyline is 10 out of 10. Yeah, I know it's 2017. You guys are so into CGI things. Man, now look at the Underworld movie series, Resident Evil series. They have good CGI and they are crap. Everything about this movie has an old school taste, and I bet this was not shot in recent years. This is a fine, excellent movie. Stop complaining about CGI. 10 out of 10.
Look, I wouldn't describe this film as vintage in style.
Not even a little. Here's another one titled What's Wrong with People by Shocks 341.
Is he talking about Victor Salva?
I wish. THIS. But, it's capitalized space apart. This is the real horror movie. It's not some modern shit with lots of effects. What? Like movies Nova days? I'm a fan of Victor Salva's work. My favorite is Clown House. That's the one that got him convicted. People today watch horrors with the same stories over and over. Like, ooh, the curtain is moving. Ooh, the sound of the doors opening is scary. Ooh. I mean, really? 10 out of 10.
So I just looked at you like, that's the one that got him convicted.
It's insane to put in your review that that's your favorite one of his.
So funny.
Oh my god. Here's another one titled Genius! Obviously there are paid trolls lying about reality by Multiplayer XG Source. Sorry, I don't know what that means. This is not the final movie, first of all. Secondly, what fake CGI? This
What fake CGI?
What fake CGI?
What does that mean?
All CGI is
all of it's fake.
Well, even the non-CGI is fake.
Yeah. Every component of this film is fake.
Yeah. This movie fills in a lot of questions about the truck and other things.
No, it's a big van.
It doesn't have to explain anything. Kind of like how Stephen King's It is a mysterious interdimensional entity that can be stopped by a turtle god or something. So basically what we have are teenagers and kids slamming something they just don't understand. Most likely that, or paid trolls. Bottom line, if you want an entertaining thrill fest Halloween-style horror movie, Salva delivers again. 10 out of 10.
Oh, God. I also hate that they're like naming the director, being like, he delivers again.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
That's
God.
what I mean. There's a weird energy in the 10 out of 10s for this.
This is exactly why I feel like, pedophiles aren't allowed to go back into filmmaking.
Yeah.
They'll just be rewarded by strange fucking lunatics on IMDb
Other pedophiles.
and other pedophiles.
Here's another one titled Be Grateful by Hercules-DB96.
No, I won't.
Poor crybaby reviews is one reason why movies like this is giving a low budget and years to see them. Why can't people just be grateful they are given the privilege to enjoy a third one? Especially after 15 years. 10 out of 10.
A privilege.
A privilege.
That we were given Jeepers Creepers 3.
A privilege. What I give to you. Be grateful.
Just be grateful
for
you got a
Jeepers
third.
Creepers 3.
No one asked for a third.
Be grateful. I gave you this dinner. It's a pile of shit, but come on. Here's my last review.
Okay.
Titled I Love Jeepers Creepers
Straight to the point.
by Brian Penguin.
Oh, it's cute.
It is kind of cute. I love the moments when the creature pauses and floats in the air. I love Jeepers Creepers. Make more Jeepers Creepers movies. They are great, especially when you're super bored. I love the way he dresses, and he is really scary with magic powers. 10 out of 10.
Can we read more Brian Penguin reviews? Honestly, that's like the most endearing thing.
It really is. I love Jeepers Creepers.
I like it when he floats in the air.
I love you, RoboCop.
I love you, RoboCop.
I love you, RoboCop.
Brian
Wow,
Penguin.
he does not have that many reviews, but he does have other reviews. Here's a review he gave for Hereditary.
Oh, here we go.
It is titled, This Movie Gave Me Nightmares. It is not for the faint of heart. This movie can make you go crazy. I saw this movie once and I don't want to see it again.
Same.
This movie ruined my mind.
Same.
I don't like it at all.
Me and Brian Penguin feel the exact same way. Fuck Hereditary. That was a shit film.
Here's one for Nope as well, if we want to keep
I
going.
haven't seen Nope. Will it spoil it?
No. It should be rated G. It is not scary at all. There is no blood. This movie is for people who never saw a good quality scary movie like the movies from the 1980s. No gore. Too much talking. Not entertaining. Very boring. I almost went to sleep.
Are there any more?
There are, but they're for movies I don't know, and so it's not as entertaining for me. But
Oh, love you, Brian Penguin.
I love Jeepers Creepers.
I love Jeepers Creepers. And I love you, RoboCop.
I love you, RoboCop. What's your review, Abby?
Listen up, y'all, because this is it. The beat that I'm serving is delicious.
Fergalicious definitions make them boys go loco. What?
They want my something, so I can put them with them.
Yeah, the rest of it's not
They can see
important.
me, they can squeeze me.
The rest of
I
it's not
am
important because
squeezy,
then we would be in legal trouble if you continued.
Oh.
You have got to stop singing copyrighted music.
Yeah, it's a bad habit.
Sing all the non-copyrighted music you know. I think you just like singing.
I do.
You do.
I sing songs all day.
Yeah, it's fun.
I usually sing songs about myself.
Yeah, I like it.
Baby Beanie.
There's many songs where it's your version that's in my head.
I have a little song that I sing to Claude about me being a tropical beanie. And I go, tropical beanie on the island way. Tropical beanie on the island way. Hey! And I imagine I have like a little coconut bra on and a little grass skirt.
Can't believe the listeners at home missed your little dance you did with it.
You're going to cut that out, right?
What's your review of Jeepers Creepers 3?
Listen up, y'all.
No.
I didn't like it.
I know.
And I probably actually would not watch it again.
No.
It didn't have enough value to watch it again. There was nothing that really left out as a good time. It was very drab.
Yeah.
It was terrible. 2.
Yeah, you
2
could,
out of 10.
you could almost be tempted to show people some of the third act stuff that's more silly, and then I would remember that I could watch anything else.
Exactly. And I think off the back of 11, 11, 11, I'm like, anything is better than that.
Yeah.
Because we literally gave it a 0.
Yeah.
So this week I'm like, wow, maybe it could be like a 4 or a 5. Fuck no, it's a 2.
It's a 2.
Because it looks like a movie.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna one up you, and this movie was made by a pedophile, so it's an automatic
true.
0.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, 2 points, huh? 2 points.
I just think it's just a sexuality.
Wow.
You know?
Oh, no,
And,
no, no.
like,
We're cutting
they
it.
deserve our
We're not doing this
pity.
bit. We're not doing this bit. For real, we're not doing this bit.
Oh, yeah, no. People clearly can't discern that I'm being facetious.
It makes me, Michelle, uncomfortable, even as a bit.
Yeah, fair. Look, I'm only going to keep it as a 2, not because I agree with pedophilia, but just to challenge
That's not
you.
a great way to make an argument. If your argument at any point is like not to defend pedophilia, I don't think you're winning the argument.
Yeah. Well, I think my spite for you somehow overcomes my hatred of pedophilia even. It's crazy.
Is this like there's like the meme thought experiment of like trying to get AI to say the N-word, and it's like if you could save the life of a child or say the N-word, and then because it's good to program it to not say slurs. And so then it's always like it is wrong to say the N-word. It's just so funny. It's a robot. Because it's insane. Because it's the most insane thing. Especially because conservatives do that shit all the time. They're like, oh, I still wouldn't be allowed to say it. Just don't do it, man. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Why are we here?
I have no idea. I'll give it
Sorry,
a 1.
my microphone wasn't working.
You're right. I'll take a point off for the pedophilia at 1.
Cool. Nice. Nice. I appreciate that. Sorry, I think we really went off the rails.
Pedophilia really leaves a bad taste in your mouth for this episode.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. There's no salve for Salva.
That was good.
Thanks.
I enjoyed. Hey guys, that's been Jeepers Creepers 3. We've got social media.
Bang to end it on. You know, it's going out strong.
If you heard this fucking mess of an episode and were like, you know what, I forgive you. You can find us elsewhere. You can find us on Twitter at RateDescentPod, on Instagram. It's so late. On Twitter at Rate. Oh, sorry,
it is.
And it's so late. Yeah, you can find us on Twitter at RateDescentPod, on Instagram. No, on TikTok at RatingDescending. You can email us at RatingDescending.
Keep it in. Worst one ever. You're keeping it. Yeah. Good luck trying to get in touch with us.
Hang on, you rating? Sorry, hang on.
Fuck, mommy, fuck, rating mommy.
Insta TikTok. Fuck.
Milky mom, fuck. Or you could find us on our personal accounts. I'm at milkymommy at instagram.com. That's not what the profiles are like. I'm at Abigail J. Ward on Insta.
Or if you want to hear thoughts I took time to say instead of just me, stream of consciousness baby, then you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Michelle.St.
And please, pretty please, with a cherry on top, leave us a review for whatever you've got. If you use Spotify or Apple Play Podcasts, please go and review us and do it fast.
That was really good, but I think it's just called podcast now.
Fuck.
But I mean, I guess it is only on the Apple devices. So
if you've got a thought about our show, we'd love to hear it. Give it a go.
Oh, that's the end. Well, that's been Jeepers Creepers 3. Abby, what are we watching next week?
Michelle, next week, and you didn't have to tell me this, we're watching the Russian film Guardians.
I have heard it's a Russian superhero movie set in the Cold War.
That sounds crazy.
I'm keen as fuck.
Me too. We haven't had
it.
a Russian film before, have we?
No, we have not.
Wow, it's a first for the podcast.
And it's a politically awesome time to watch a very pro-Russian movie.
Oh, yeah. From pedophiles to Russians. No, cut that.
What?
Cut it out.